What is up, people? You see the car, you see the man, the myth, the legend. We are here in California. We're gonna show you guys the real Derrick Struggle because you know there's a lot of stuff on the internet about this man, but it's about time we got rid of the mask and brought out the real man. Stick with us, it's gonna be super lit.
Alright, so we had to show off the Lambo a little bit. That was some glamour shots of the Lambo.
Right.
My man Derrick, we might start up again. We started up the other night. It was fire. But
we will. We're going to start it.
For you guys.
At the end though, so you have to watch the whole video.
Alright, so here's the deal. So Kale and I flew out to California on Thursday. We've been actually planning this for like a long time.
Very long time.
Like a couple months now, trying to make dates work, trying to make everything work. And we flew out here, and listen, this video is gonna be super real the whole time, but
the whole time.
Kale and I landed, we went to our hotel, we drove over to Derrick's house, he invited us over to his house, and we got here. Honestly, we were like, what's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen? We literally, we walked in here, guys, and we're gonna be completely real, right? The door opens up, and Derrick starts showing us the apartment. And I'm still, at this point—
It's a house.
Yeah, it's a huge house. What am I talking about? It's a big house. Huge. The whole time I'm thinking, I've seen what you guys have seen. I've seen the house. I've seen the Lambo. I've seen the clothes. I've seen all this stuff. And I'm actually wondering, and I'm just going to be honest, Derrick, I'm wondering, is this guy like a dick? Like, does this guy just like have a bunch of money? Like, am I going to hate this guy? Like, I didn't even know. And he's showing us around the house, and like, I'm still like—
Drinking my protein shake?
Yeah, I'm like, cool.
Drinking his protein
just blended it.
Cool, he's showing me his house. Great. Like, this is great. Whatever. We sit down. And this dude, actually, the genuine nature of this dude comes out. And we should have filmed it. We didn't film it. But
we sat on his couch in there for like 3 hours and we talked. Yep. And it was so real. And I'm like, look, we obviously were making these videos. Obviously, we hung out in San Francisco yesterday. But even if we had just got on a plane and flown for 6-7 hours, whatever it is, to California and then got on a plane and flew back to Pittsburgh, the 3 hours on the couch with Derrick was worth it. Yep. And so we didn't get a chance to film that because we weren't thinking properly or something. So what we really actually want to do is we actually want to ask Derrick some questions. So it's going to be like this kind of interview style and, you know, really kind of try to recreate what happened on the couch on Thursday. Yep. So before we get started, if you don't know Derrick, Derrick, why don't you kind of tell the people like who you are?
Cool. Cool. So my name is Derrick. Most people know me as Derrick Struggle. I am an entrepreneur, but one of the things that I like to portray myself as on the internet is just a dude that just wants to see other people do well. Yeah. And I mean, I've been fortunate and grateful enough to do well in my businesses, and I want it so bad for other people, and I was telling you guys about that. Yeah. I was born in San Francisco, California. I moved about 16 times. Wow. All right. Always moving from place to place to place to place. And then, you know, my entrepreneurship, since this is an entrepreneur channel and we are on the subject of entrepreneur, you know, I grew up, when I was growing up, at the age of like 14, I heard this term, I think it was on Tumblr or maybe I heard it. Somebody said something about, you know, beautiful struggle. Like, I think I saw it, a quote or something. And at that moment, I was like, how can a struggle be beautiful? Isn't struggle supposed to be a bad thing? But for some reason at the time, moving around and always making new friends, like leaving friends, and always being in kind of like a dark place, alone and stuff like that, it stuck with me and it resonated with me. So at the age of 16 years old, you know, I decided in high school that I was going to put the word beautiful struggle on a t-shirt. So when I put beautiful struggle on a t-shirt, I wore it to school. I went to a school called Arroyo High School in the city of San Lorenzo here in California. People loved it. I started bringing duffel bags to school every single day. I had a duffel bag on my left and a duffel bag on my right. I tell the story all the time. I had Post-it notes on my arm. I would take orders from people. You know, I would be selling in the quad, locker rooms, and all of these things. And, you know, from that moment, that was like the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey.
Yeah.
Selling t-shirts, I was selling t-shirts online. At the time, there wasn't Shopify. Shopify wasn't even existed. There was a platform called Big Cartel, and that's what I used at 16. As my journey started to continue to develop, I just loved the idea of e-commerce and selling things online and being able to use the internet to be able to provide some sort of product. At the time, now service, right? And that's really how my journey began. And then about 2016 or 2016, I rebranded the Struggle brand. At the time, it was just a high school thing. It wasn't really, it wasn't like a company. I didn't even know anything about business.
Yeah.
And then in, like I said, late 2016, I decided to rebrand it as a fitness apparel brand because at the time I was working as a personal trainer. And then things kind of moved on from there. I'm kind of fast forwarding. There's so much more to the story. I definitely want to answer like a lot of the questions that we're going to be talking about. But that's basically my story. 2017, just early last year, I started Amazon FBA. Then I got into YouTube, and that's where a lot of people see me now.
Yeah.
But it was years and years of, everybody sees all the glory now and stuff like that, but nobody sees the years and years of, starting businesses. A lot of people see the businesses that I've started that have succeeded, but I've started so many businesses that have failed. It's absurd.
Yeah.
But that really is just like my whole story. I was a t-shirt guy in high school. And one thing led to another. I found I was just the type of person that liked to take risks.
Right.
Risk. And eventually, it just brought me to where I am now. I'm very fortunate.
That's so cool. It's so interesting too, because it's so true. Like I sold hoverboards at a mall before I did all this stuff, and like I had business. I was selling like wristbands out of them at football games and stuff like that. And just the serial entrepreneurship nature of Derrick, I think, is something that's really allowed him to give that value. And so that kind of leads me into the first question. We're gonna bring some real questions here, guys. So make sure you listen to all these, because especially at the end, we're going to get into the real stuff that you're going to want to hear. So, did you ever think that your brand would blow up the way it has, would expand the way it has?
Like, and that's everything. Like, you're blowing up on Instagram, like you struggle brand, like you're turning this thing into something. What did you think it would be that big?
I did not. I did not. I think it just. One of the things that I've always learned is that I've always just tried to stay true to myself. My values, the things that I stand for, and when I realized that people resonated in that way, it's when I knew that it made me feel comfortable in my own skin, that I can continue to just be myself and put out whatever's on my mind. There are some days where I won't post content just because I feel like there's just nothing that I have to say. But when I have something to say, I'll always post it. And it's truly an amazing thing for me as an entrepreneur, because I love building business. I love making cool things. I love building things. Ever since I was a little boy, like playing Lego, I used to play with my mom's Barbie toys because I just love making, to build things, right? I never did I think it'd be the way that it is now. I'm just so grateful for each and every one. So if you're watching this video and you follow, you know about me, you follow me, and you're a supporter of me, I just want to say thank you. Each individual person I talk to, I just really appreciate every individual person that supports me, because if it wasn't for them, then I wouldn't be where I am today. And it really I just come from a place of this is just who I am. If you don't like me, I'm not for everybody, and that's totally fine. It's not hard feelings,
totally
I think that one thing that I want to say right now is what Derrick was just saying. That's not an act.
Right.
He doesn't act like that in front of a camera because he can't. He doesn't have multiple personalities.
Yeah.
Who he just said he was is who he was, and we know that because we've gotten to spend time with him here.
Yep.
And so I think the next question is really specifically pertaining to e-commerce. After you went through the t-shirt, after you went through all that stuff, and you started with e-commerce, and not only actually doing Amazon FBA, but starting to build that brand. What was that process like? How did you jump from I'm gonna sell some stuff on Amazon to I'm gonna build a course, I'm gonna build a brand, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel? What did that look like?
Okay, good. So, at the time when I built when I was growing Struggle Athletics as a clothing company, it was such a fun like project for me. Okay, at the time I was just trying other business models. I tried like print on demand on Shopify, you know, other things like that, and I found the business model Amazon FBA. So I decided to pursue it because I just wanted to try it. You know, I was like, this is really interesting. And oftentimes when people get to Amazon FBA, they're very skeptical at first. It's very normal, okay, because you see all these things. So I just decided to try it, and when I started to see the fruits of this business model, like when you you know, as the process continues, I realized like how powerful it actually was. Okay, and I got excited about it, and because I got excited about it, I shared it. I shared it on various Facebook groups. I shared it. You know, I started to message people, DM people. I message people on that Messenger, and people would always ask me like, Derrick, you should start a YouTube channel so you can show us how you did that product research technique. And at the time, I was like, I'm not going to start a YouTube channel. I can't be in front of a camera. Like, it's just weird, right?
So much.
But people kept asking me, and I was sharing my journey. At the time, I had like 2 products. I was only doing about 8,000 at the time, and people kept asking me. So when I started the YouTube channel, I literally would just copy the title or the links of the video and just paste it through Messenger, just so I can show it like, hey, you were wondering about product research, here's the product research video. Like, hey, you're wondering about suppliers, like here's the suppliers. Okay. And as the YouTube channel started to grow, I started to get like 10 to 15 subs a day. Got like 500 subs in the next like 3-4 weeks. People would message me and be like, hey, Derrick, can you mentor me? I'll pay you $1,000. And I was like, that's great. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't have time to sit with someone every single day and Skype them to talk about Amazon FBA, because there's just so much to learn. Like, right? There's the suppliers, there's like so much, right? And it got to a point where people kept asking me, and I did consulting calls for like a little bit, you know, like 1 or 2 a day. But it got to a point where it was just so massive that I was just like, people were like, do you have a course? Do you have something? Like, give us something. And I was like, okay, great. So never in a million years that I think I was going to build a digital product. So I built FBA Heroes. Okay, I built FBA Heroes on the backbone of, you know, wanting to create this platform that allowed people the skills and the tools to build an Amazon business the same way that I did, and the same way that I learned through various other academies and, you know, mentors and things like that. And that's how FBA Heroes came about. Okay, and you know, my YouTube channel started to grow. FBA Heroes started to grow as a company. We expanded. We have employees now. We have a team, and that's basically how it started.
That's so cool.
You know, never did I think that I was going to get here, but it was just seeing opportunities and being like, I'm going to try it. And not only am I going to try it, I'm just going to go all in on it. And because you don't ever want to go into something and just be like, I'm just going to give 50%. It doesn't work that way. You know? So
I think the biggest part of that really hit me when we were talking is the heart behind it. So Derrick was talking about when we were on the couch the other day about how his only goal was really just to help other people out. Like, talk about how you were in the Facebook groups before anyone knew who you were. You know what I mean? And you were learning and you were trying to help other people. And I think that the reason FBA Heroes blew up like it did, and the reason there's a Lamborghini behind us, and the reason that there's so much impact from your brand starts with that humble attitude from the beginning. So talk a little bit about that, maybe.
You know, I think for me is that I've spent so much time, like, you know, just doing things for myself, like trying to get my life going, trying, you know, to make a little bit of money and things like that. That when I start to see it for myself, I was like, I can't. See, the thing that I always tell myself is success is not about me. Success is about, you know, other people, seeing other people do well, and seeing, you know, my family be able to benefit from what I've been able to do. And it got to a point where I'm just like, I can't just be the only one to experience this, this prosperity, like, you know what I mean? And then I see other people like struggling. For me, in my core, I always just believe I can't just be the only one to experience this. Like,
that's right.
You know what I mean? Like, cool, like I have a car, I have the house, but I'm like, it doesn't mean, like, honestly, it doesn't mean shit. If I can't help other people. You know what I mean? Like, if I can't see other people doing well, doing it too, like, it feels like, I feel kind of empty. I feel like I can't fulfill the purpose that, for me, at least, you know, I feel like everyone has their own thing, but for me, that was just how it was. You know, I just wanted to see other people do well.
That's awesome.
Gotcha.
That's so cool.
So in your business and all of your companies that you're running, do you have any regrets? Like, do you have something that, like, you wish you had done differently, you wish hadn't happened, something like that you are willing to share?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest regrets, I mean, obviously in business, having regrets isn't a good thing.
Yeah.
But there are times you make big mistakes, and it's good and bad because you wish, number one, you wouldn't have made it, but good because you wouldn't have learned.
Right.
Okay. The biggest mistake that I ever did was not closing FBA Heroes when it got too big. When it was growing, it's substantially, incredibly fast. Okay. And one of the things that I learned is that two reasons why businesses go out of business. Number one, they grow too slow, and number two, they grow too fast. Mm-hmm. At the time, when I realized this, I was like, how the fuck can a business grow? Can I cuss?
It's okay.
Cool. How can a business go out of business by growing too fast?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that a good thing? But then I realized that you can go out of business because your operations cannot handle what you've promised, or just the support. And rumors start, people want refunds and all of these things. But at the same time, I was like, I don't want to close it because I'm like, people are benefiting so much from it. But it was like it was a really, really tough battle for me because I went through a very, to be honest, like a lot of entrepreneurs would just melt in the situation that I was in. It was tough. I would stay up late. I was like, how can I fix this problem? And continue, because I could have easily been like, no more support, just buy the course, no more support, that's it.
Yeah.
But I was like, but that wouldn't fulfill why I built FBA Heroes in the first place.
Right.
I built FBA Heroes because I wanted other people to see how they could use Amazon FBA to build a thriving business.
That's right.
So why would I give up on that? Like that would be terrible. So I adjusted, I pivoted as an entrepreneur. I built a bigger operation. Expanded my operation by taking on a team. I built a stronger system, and just built on top of what I already had. But it was, like I said, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have learned.
Yeah.
But if there was one thing that I regret, it was that, in an aspect of like I wouldn't make that same mistake again.
Yeah.
So if I did start another company, maybe whether it was a service, like a product-based, service-based, it doesn't matter, or a digital product, I would be more conscious about like, look, if it's going to grow, make sure I have things prepared, or just be prepared.
Yeah. I think what's so crazy about what you're saying is obviously you said, I made a mistake and I was growing too fast. Mm-hmm. And even though that was a mistake, and obviously you have learned from it, you adjusted, you're going to adjust more in the future. That's something like we just closed 2 of our programs in our course in Nine University. We just closed it. And that decision, it was making us money. I don't want anybody to think it wasn't. Yeah. We were making money from it. It was going really well. But not only did Derrick learn from that, but we learned from it too.
That's true.
And you're helping, like, even though it was something that you wish would have gone differently, or you're going to change in the future, you pivot, it still helps people if you look at it in the right way.
That's true.
It doesn't, we can't get mad at Derrick for something. We need to look at him and be like, we can learn from anything that anybody does.
And can we just let the man off the hook a little bit here? Like, guys, put yourself in this dude's shoes. Like, you are a normal dude, okay? You start an Amazon FBA business. You say, I want to create an online course to help people, legitimately help people grow a business, have success like I have. And then all of a sudden it sells like 100 a day or like 200 a day. And you're like,
what do I do?
You're making a lot of money, but you're also like, holy crap. Like, what do I do? Guys, like, you would be in the same freaking conundrum. Like, don't act like, I hate when people are like hating on this guy and they're like, oh, he didn't do whatever he did. Put yourself in his shoes. Like, what would you have done? Like, I don't even know what we would have done. Like, the way he handled it, the way that it's now streamlined and everything is great. Like, give him some slack.
It's impressive.
Give him some slack. And anyway, so this might be the realest question ever asked to Derrick. And so I think this was like the most powerful moment we talked about. And it's just, I don't even know how this came up the other day, but if you feel comfortable, can you just talk about the week? So this, you guys see this car, like this is real. Like I'm actually touching this car, right? This is a $300,000.
Don't get a fingerprint on it.
This is a $300,000. I didn't get a fingerprint on it. This is like a $300,000 car, whatever, Lamborghini. Talk about the week after you got this.
Okay, great. So I've actually,
and for real, if like you share this and you don't want it, we can edit it.
It's okay, no worries at all. So definitely, I want to like take this moment to. I feel like we're on a good vibe right now, and I feel like this would inspire a lot of you guys and maybe open up to you guys a little bit more about who I am. So I set a 5-year goal to get this Lamborghini. Okay, I got it in 1 year. I was so pumped to sit in that office, and every single day I dreamed about sitting in that finance office, signing the papers to take the car home. That moment came for me, and it was amazing. The week after or during the week of my Lamborghini, I found every reason to go out. I took my mom out to lunch, my brother. I was always going out. I was picking up my little brother from school. That's awesome. Okay. There was only one time in my life that I've ever felt any depression, like any real deep depression. Like I wake up and just not know what the fuck it's about. Like just so down. Like it was actually the week after I got the Lamborghini. And I want to explain it to you so you guys can understand what I'm talking about, because you're like, what the hell, how can that possibly happen? like you have a beautiful car, like you have okay, let me just explain it to you guys this way. So when I got the car, for such a long time, I only wanted to get it, to chase the car, to try, to work and put my head. So I had my head down for so long that when I had the car, I had my head up. And when I looked up, after so many months and years of having my head down, I was like, where am I? Who am I? And what is the purpose? And why am I doing what I'm doing?
That's right.
Right. And it was very tough for me because at the time I didn't understand what I was going through, and thankfully I had like a mentor. His name is Daniel, that was able to help me, guide me through this this time. As because I was like, okay, I have a beautiful home, okay, I have a beautiful car, I have an amazing family, I have an amazing relationship with my girlfriend, I have all this money in my bank account. But why do I feel so empty? It's like the man that has everything yet has nothing. Wow. And I was like, how can that happen? And I realized that it wasn't because of the car, it wasn't because of the money, it wasn't because of the Instagram followers or the YouTube followers or anything other than the fact that I just was a person that wanted to always just grow and just continuously develop, expand, and all that stuff. So once it was kind of like the donkey and the carrot. The donkey is like having a great time trying to chase the carrot, even though it's tough, it's a struggle, right? But you take the carrot away, the donkey has nothing else to live for. Yeah. So that chase was like taken away from me. And I didn't realize that because everything that I wanted, I got it. So my dream was fulfilled. Once I got the dream, I didn't set out for a new dream. So because of that, it was really tough. Yeah. It was very tough. My mother tried to help me, my girlfriend tried to help me, but it was very tough because I was just like, what is the point of doing what I'm doing? Like, I got the car, I got the home, I got everything, I got money, like I could literally buy anything I want. But I felt like, but that's when I realized that I'm like, it wasn't because of the car, it was because I genuinely just love to chase and to work, like to work for a purpose. Yeah. Okay. And that's when I realized, and obviously I'm not depressed anymore, guys. So once I realized that, and then I got over it, and things like that. That's when my mind opened up, and that's when Struggle HQ. Yeah. Here just manifested, it created the vision was created in my head because I allowed myself to understand it wasn't about anything other than that. I just want to create. So when Struggle HQ opens, then there's going to be a new dream, like expanding to Southern California, and then
So I want to ask you one quick question, and then I want to jump to Struggle HQ. I want you to talk about that, but you obviously, thank you for sharing what you just did. But a lot of people see you online. Yeah. They see your Instagram, they see your car, they see your house, they see you, and they go, dude, that dude has success. That guy has been successful. Mm-hmm. And people are starting to say things like that about us. Oh, they're so successful. They're so successful. Okay. Real quick, how do you define success? Yeah.
To me, success is really just about fulfilling your true potential. Mm-hmm. Whatever that is. And everybody has their own. It's seeking that every day. Because continuously, like as you try to seek your potential, it's always going to change, right? You're always going to realize like, oh, I'm capable of more. I'm capable of more. It's allowing yourself to try to get there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you guys, because success could be defined into many different people. But for me, it's just always trying to chase what your true potential is, whatever that may be. Pushing the boundary, like stretching your mind to find out what you're capable of doing. Mm-hmm. And just in another way, like for me, success, I just talk about like success is not about me. So I feel like for me, if I can keep working on just being the best person that I can be, and I can stretch that and reach that potential of how good can Derrick be, and then it inspires other people and to do and to move and to become like people of action and people of like doers and people that will actually go out there and make things happen for themselves. Like that is like the ultimate success. Because I can literally die like tomorrow or tonight or right now. Something traumatic could happen.
We'd all die.
All of this, everything you guys see, like can disappear. Like it's going with me. Like it's gone. But what's going to matter when I leave this planet is the people that can be like, holy crap, that guy like impacted my life. And that person that had kids can be like, I learned this something from this guy named Derrick. And then their kids, like it is just a ripple effect that will pass down for its legacy. I mean, that's what it is. And I didn't realize that until like I continuously fulfill that potential. You know, and then at the beginning, all I did want to do was just make money and pay my debt and not work a 9-to-5 job, right? And I fulfilled that. And now it's like, as your potential, like as you start to grow, your potential continues to develop. That's right. It changes because you realize these things. And for me, like that's what it is now. You know what I mean? Like, cool, I can keep building my businesses and building my and keep growing and all that great stuff. But what's gonna matter the most is like how many people can I actually reach.
And that's so real.
There is a gym in the corner for that. Good gracious.
Like that's so good. And you guys are now seeing what we saw. Like you hear it in his voice, and I hope you can, this translates to a camera, but we're sitting right here and this is not fake. Like this is the real guy. This is who I hoped I was coming out to see, and it's been better than I hoped. So let's talk about the last thing, and I think this summarizes it all. This summarizes his heart, this summarizes his vision. It's called Struggle HQ. Ooh. So tell us about your next project.
So Struggle HQ is a huge passion project for me. It is like my next step in my entrepreneurship journey. Struggle HQ is going to be the first ever entrepreneurship / creative center with a full-blown fitness center in it. Okay, it's going to be approximately 11,000 square feet. Literally pouring my heart and soul into this project. Struggle HQ was created because oftentimes us entrepreneurs, especially a lot of you guys may not have like a business partner, but for me, I didn't have a business partner, so I spent so much time alone at my house. Before I lived here, I lived with my parents. I would spend so much time just sitting down on the computer, just like you guys, right? Sitting down on the computer or on your laptop, whatever, on your porch, in your living room, working by yourself. And it's so easy to be discouraged, so easy to be demotivated, so easy to let yourself off the hook and start scrolling on Facebook wall, Instagram, and start watching YouTube videos. And it's just hard to be as productive as you want. The thing that I learned as an entrepreneur, especially like this year, I've been traveling a tremendous amount, meeting other entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs. I realized that when you are in a room full of people that are ambitious and driven and have the same vision and goal as you, that your level of productivity skyrockets. So I wanted to create an environment where that is that creates that possibility. So when people go into Struggle HQ, I want them to feel that. I want them to feel like number one, productive. And number two, they feel like possibility. And then number three, they feel like they can collaborate with anybody. So if anybody wants, like it's editing a YouTube video, but they're like, I don't know how to edit a video. I just want to create a YouTube video. We will have people there that know how to do that. All these skills kind of like commingle to create this powerhouse of a company. And then obviously there's a fitness center too. So if you want to work out, because it's like train the mind, train the body. Right. It's kind of it's literally the ultimate country club for millennials and young entrepreneurs. And when I say young entrepreneurs, I don't mean age. I mean early in the process. So you can be 60 years old and just starting a business. You are technically a young entrepreneur.
While we've been sitting here, or while we've been here this weekend, Derrick showed us like blueprints for it, and like talked out a bunch of stuff. It's gonna be super sick, and I know that whenever it opens, Kale and I will be flying back out here to be for the grand opening. And he's got big plans like in the future. Like obviously the goal right now is to get that one open, but then it's gonna spread, it's gonna grow. And
can I just say one thing about Struggle HQ that really caught me, guys? We're talking about, I'm really, I was a business consultant before this. Like I'm always focused on the numbers, on the business, on the revenue side of everything. And so the other day I'm talking to Derrick and I'm asking him like, when are you gonna get your money back? It's a big upfront investment to like, he's putting some money into Struggle HQ. When are you gonna get your money back? How are you gonna do a revenue model? How much are you gonna charge per person? I'm asking all the like logistical questions. And Derrick's answering with, oh, I don't care. I just want to connect people.
Yeah.
I just want to make people better. I just want to make entrepreneurs have a better mindset and be able to collaborate and raise their level of thinking. And I'm sitting there and I'm actually like, holy crap. All right, guys, I was in the middle of a rant. The camera cut out. I don't know what happened. It just shut down. But the basic thing is that Struggle HQ is not about the money. And that's proven in his actions. That's proven in his words too, but mostly that he's putting his money where his mouth is. And there's nothing that says more about a guy's mission and heart than that. So super pumped for that, super excited. Like Taylor said, we're gonna fly back here and obviously be here for the grand opening, and it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah, we'll be here. It's gonna be lit. So with that, Derrick, tell the people something. Tell them where they can find you. Any last things you want to say, do it.
Obviously, obviously links are going to be in the description. YouTube.com/Derrick Struggle. Instagram.com/Derrick Struggle. You can find me on basically everything with Derrick Struggle. But I'm going to leave you guys with one tip, because this is something that I'm truly passionate about. And it's the thing that's brought me the most fulfillment in my life, is when you guys start to see success in your journey, in your business, or maybe as a personal development. It doesn't have to be just in monetary value, but anything that has helped you, bring you happiness or fulfillment or a change in a positive direction, share that with the world. Like, share help somebody. If you're doing well with Amazon FBA, because that's what we mostly talk about, is share it, post it on a Facebook group, or make a YouTube video and just help other people, pay it forward and give back. Because trust me, there's just no better feeling than to get these messages where people are like, Taylor, you changed my life. Kale, you changed my life. Derrick, you changed my life. And it's just priceless. So
that's right.
That's all I have. That's it.
It's so good, man. This is the real Derrick. He is incredible, man. I can't wait to see where we go. If you liked it, like it. If you want to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you. And Kel, what are we gonna do now?
We're gonna start this car because the sound it makes, I almost like peed a little bit last night. This is so glorious. You're not ready for this. Let's start up the Lamborghini, brother. You gotta do it.
Let's do it. Oh, this is the height, Derrick. Bro, this wasn't made for 6'8". Oh, it just feels right.
Oh, it feels so good.
It smells good.
It does smell good.
I wish we could translate the smell over to people, but
we got the keys. We got the keys, and here's what you do to start this. You lift this bad boy up, foot on the brake. You ready, Kel? Okay. Car being started.
Yep.
Here we go.
Whoa! Oh, it's so loud. I want to do that every day, forever. I just want to come out here and just start it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, listen to it. It like vibrates your soul.
You see that, Derrick?
Look at this. Look at this. Just look at the gauge. Look at this right here. Look at this. Yo, life is good.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
this is a Lamborghini steering wheel, people. This steering wheel is worth more than my car is.
That steering wheel's worth more than your house. What are you talking about? Hey, how do you like this?
It's incredible. It's literally, just get this.
Like that is worth more than everything I've ever owned.
Literally incredible, people.
Like, oh my gosh. I just want to like, look at it. Oh.
And then all the forged carbon here, it was just like, and then the door handles.
It's so sick,
like the details.
It literally feels like it should. Wow. Well, I'm jealous.
Hey, Derrick.
Yes.
You got a pretty sick car, bro.
Thanks, man.